Okay, Dave, we only see the top of your head, by the way, and your picture.
That's the best part of it.
Yeah, there you go.
I like the football picture, but okay. I'm going to start the recording for the record. Hold on. All right, here we go. We're here for the Village of Airmont's Community Design Review Committee, Tuesday, September 10th, 11 o'clock via Zoom. And the only agenda item is the Har Shalom Cemetery, 44 Hillside Ave, for temporary trailers and lot coverage variance request for preliminary proposed amended site plan.
Let
Hi,
me take
Sam.
off.
Is Paul coming on?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's on vacation. He's the smartest one of the bunch.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay.
So, Dave Ziegler, from what we submitted here, we have two different things on the map, and didn't quite know how to go about this temporary trailer issue because I didn't know how you proceeded with that before. It does require a site plan, and it does require the planning board to review it and approve it for a site to have temporary trailers. So this submission is requesting that procedure, I guess, and for that we would need some directions. But I know that there's a question about it being in the code, and I think we're following 210-26, which has specifically time limits, size of the trailers, and where it's allowed. So I think we do meet the code. And if we could just stay on the temporary trailers for right now, then go to the coverage after, I'd appreciate that. So I guess the question is, do we have a problem with the submission for temporary trailers as it stands?
Well,
Lou, or John?
go ahead. Lou, you can go first because that's kind of a zoning question.
Okay. The temporary trailers need, I have a problem with the fact that they're on a concrete pad, which doesn't make them temporary anymore. And they have ramps and platforms built up to them, which are also not temporary. They're talking construction trailers. The code is originally written for construction trailers and things like that for during a commercial build out. So, I mean, I'd be happy to accommodate them as they are, but the concrete pads have to go. And we got to discuss the issues of the ramps and decking that you want to add to them. If you're looking at the code, it says item 5 says the trailers must be located in a place where they're easily accessible. They must be connected to sewer and water as required by applicable health department regulations, and shall not require the removal or any damage to existing on-site trees. So it says in your narrative that you're going to not hook them up to sewer or water. So
Correct.
that needs to be addressed because the code requires them to be hooked up to sewer and water.
Well, the unit for the bathroom is self-sustaining, and it has a tank for both. And because these are such a temporary use, only during serious ceremonies, that's the way we would like to keep it. And we do not want to build anything there, so hooking up sewer and water would just be a very expensive process to later on abandon it, because the temporary trailers have a limit of time. As far as the concrete pad is there, the only reason we put the concrete pad is because in your code it says the wheels have to be removed. I thought I read that somewhere. So if the concrete pad is, in your thought, a positive item that would indicate more than temporary, we'll remove that. That's not a problem. And as far as the wood steps and the ramp that we have, the ramp is for access to the bathroom.
ADA.
And the steps are just for getting into the other trailer, which would probably be an office storage type of thing.
The office storage trailer has removable metal steps, and I'm fine with the ramp for the ADA as long as it's built so it's actually removable at some point, so it doesn't become a permanent structure. Also,
We-
when
We could do that. That's not a problem. I understand your concern.
the ADA ramp, you have a 4-foot deck pad at the top. You may
Right.
need a foot because of the circle that you have to make at the top to turn.
Okay,
You might want to enlarge that a little bit or
yes.
change the edging on it. It also says in our code that these are permitted in conjunction with any, not permitted with well, that's not correct. It says no more than one single trailer may be used during the term of a temporary permit, and only upon the property for which the site application has been submitted. So I'm a little confused as to how you were going to put 2 trailers in.
I thought it said no more than 2 trailers.
On number 6.
Yeah, hold on, let me just bring
6.
that one up.
Lou, what section of the code are you in?
210-26.
Uh-huh.
Number
Number 6.
correct.
Thank you.
I thought it said 2. Okay.
And then, so I guess I'll interject with a couple of my comments. So, under that section of the code, I mean, my understanding is that temporary trailers are used in conjunction with a site that's being built or site construction. So it's essentially a construction trailer. It looks to me on the plan that these trailers are being used, one for, I think it indicated office and for on-site personnel to have lunch, and another one for, you know, bathroom facilities or so when there's a large funeral, perhaps, that people have a place to go to the bathroom. So
Yes.
my question under comment 3 is that, is this require a use variance? I know you're applying for a lot coverage variance, so that's fine. But it may also require a use variance. So maybe the attorney would like to check that out and give his opinion, but that's comment number 3. And then under seeker, the short form EAF does indicate 0.2 of an acre of site disturbance, which generally when we do a type 2, there's either no construction, like a lot line change, or very, very minimal site disturbance. So 0.2 of an acre is really 8,700 square feet. So I know in the narrative, the attorney had requested this be a type 2 action. I'm not sure, it may be above the threshold for a type 2. It would clearly be an unlisted action, but it may need a seeker resolution. Under the engineering comments, the narrative indicates that there's a proposed widening entrance, but I didn't see anything on the plan which would show that. I only saw 2 proposed temporary trailers. And then comment 2 ties into what Lou said about the bathroom facilities, that there is a requirement for provisions for water and sewer. So the way I understand it is you're looking perhaps for maybe a holding tank. And I don't know how that would work, because honestly, if you were to have a fairly large funeral, I don't really think a holding tank would suffice. So, and then this may be subject to DPW for the road widening. I didn't see anything on the plan, and Rockland County Health and Sewer for the water facilities, if it's deemed that a holding tank's not acceptable.
It also needs a GML. This isn't a GML location.
Okay.
So that brings me to the comments for all of it. As far as the variance request, right now we're at the limit of 9%. So Sam would like to pave the walks in both blocks, the large block and the small one. And just in a large block, it's 1% increase, a little over 1% increase. And then if you take the secondary block that is to the west, and he would also like to put a road in there to service the block, we are probably looking at an increase of 3%, which would be a little bit over 12. So we were requesting the variance of 15%. So if we back up a little bit, if I'm hearing correctly, we can prove that the tank would work. We've used these facilities at the winery down in off of 59, and they have they usually have some kind of wine tasting and all that, and they bring a trailer in for that, and they have between 300 and 400 people. So I think the proposed trailers would work, and I understand that one is more than one is the code, and we're asking for two, so that would be a variance. And then it also might be our use might require an interpretation or a use variance. So for those items about the trailer, I'll have to speak to Sam. Because it looks like this map would be changed into something that would have to go to the ZBA for both items. And right now, I was thinking that this map would be separated for trailer process and ZBA process. So that's why we did this. We wanted to get your direction on this, and it sounds like to me, and it's what I missed in the code, it sounds like we need to take both of these items to the ZBA. So
For
am I,
for
is
what
that,
it's
go ahead.
for what it's worth, I'm reading
Yes.
the code right now, and since the cemetery is an expansion of an existing non-residential use, I don't think you need a use variance.
Okay,
Thank you. Let me just take the word for 1 second. Just so you know what the 18 months is all about, and not to get you confused, 18 months, maybe it's gonna be, he's sticking in over here, going with 18, then it's gonna turn to 36, and then it's gonna be permanent. We have 2 parcels on each side of the property. 40 Hillside is owned by us, and we have another property on the edge, on the corner, which is also in contract.
What number is that?
On the other side of the cemetery.
Oh,
So the plan is that person still lives there and he wants time to get out. And we are aiming for less than 18 months that we can use. So it's not something that we just here figuring out a way how we can just design something. And we're just waiting for things to unfold so we can do our things that we need to do. And it's not designed for a large rabbi funeral. It's designed for any small even funeral. We have 10, 15 people coming out. We have John to goes over there. And it's not so pleasant. I just want to make it more normal. And that's the only reason why we try to do this. And it's hard for us to go through a full hurdle of lot coverage and this and that, when we're only looking here to make it easy for everybody and sanitary situation. And John to go is freezing cold. And washing the, else we wash the hands after a funeral. We want to make it just good for the people who work with us and good for the people who just come out there and small uses. It's not designed for mass use. That was the rabbi's Memorial Day was last week, Monday. And there was about 10,000 people that came into the cemetery. It was all bussed in by 448 where the pool is. It was very, very nicely organized. Not even a single issue on Hillside, the traffic. And what happened with toilets? They bought in trailers for that day, VIP. It was beautiful. They had, I don't know how many toilets they had there. And the day after, it was gone. I think that at night, it was over. So this is not the trailers designed for mass funerals or people that it's designed for small uses day by day. When there's a mass use, the rabbis people, they bring in their needs to what they need. And they figured it out that they need to have, 10, 15 toilets. They bought 2 trucks. It was all on wheels. And the day after, I don't think so even anybody noticed this, how it was. It cost them whatever it cost them, but it was out. So this is not designed for mass funerals or mass activity. Mass activity, there should be something else set up. This is designed just to ease my guys who work at the cemetery. They should have a normal toilet to go to after a funeral, before a funeral. And for the people who come out there, they should just, be taken care of. The way I have it now, I don't feel comfortable.
Mhm.
But I do have all my plans lined up, how to orchestrate this, that you have permanent, long-term plan for toilets, and I'm working on it. For the meantime, this is what we're asking for. The word is
So,
back.
Understood. So, and the attorney has indicated that this would not require a use variance, so, and the site disturbance, 2/10 of an acre, it's relatively small, so, I see no reason why we can't just move this to the planning board so that you can get a referral to the ZBA, because you do need your area variances for, lot coverage.
Even
So-
temporary?
I'm
I-
sorry?
I think what I would do, John, is separate the maps. So one would go to the ZBA and the other one could be handled. So the temporary trailer is going to become a map and the coverage could become a map, so we can separate them, if that's all right with everybody.
So there'll be two site plans, one for the
Yeah.
trailers and one for the lot coverage. So
Yes.
does the lot coverage need to be done in conjunction with the trailers?
No, they could be standalone because it's just, I just
So-
made one map because we were lazy and I wanted to go to the CDR, the workshop, so.
I just
We
double
could change it to.
But
Just double
Dave, I'm
checking
asking,
that
I'm asking
so that-
one thing, can we avoid complete, I know where you guys are coming from, don't get me wrong, I'm not silly, I'm not understanding what's happening. But I'm just asking, if possible, by this workshop, can we avoid this long hassle of going for ZBA? I'm not doing it for permanent reasons. A normal lot coverage you need to build a building, you need to do, you're violating certain zoning things, you gotta go for variances here. I'm not trying to do it for permanent, so is there something that can be done not to have to go through this?
Something
You
could be
did.
done for what?
Yeah,
The,
yeah.
the coverage or the trailers?
Yeah,
Coverage.
you're not listening. No, the coverage is going to be separated from the trailers. The trailers are a different process. The coverage is going to have to go through the GML and everything to go to the ZBA. So we have two different applications, and the easiest way to do it, we'll talk after this meeting, is to do it by separating the process.
Right, one quick question. So just the trailers themselves and the area of where those two trailers, I don't know what they are, 600 square feet each, 1,200 square feet total. With that inclusion, do you still, of the trailers, are you still at the 9%, or do you go over, which necessitates a variance?
No, the trailers don't because they're temporary. So we're fine. We're fine with our coverage. The coverage starts to get broached when we get into paving the paths.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was miswrote about the radiuses. The radiuses were opened up a little bit when we did the actual construction for buses. So what we had originally as coverage was after construction was a little bit increased, but we still had a buffer. So between that buffer and the things that we've done, we're now running out of coverage.
Okay.
That was
So,
my
I
next
mean,
one. Oh,
from-
God.
Engineering perspective, I don't have any problem with separating the two out and going to the planning board for the trailers, exclusive of the issue of the lot coverage and the variance.
All right. I think,
Dave, can I ask a
yeah.
question? You're at,
Yes.
got a 9% variance. So you going from 9 to 15 or 15 over and above the 9?
No, it'd be a request of 6%.
you're
It'd be going
requesting
from
six.
9 to 15. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what, okay, that's what I thought. I just want to make
Yeah.
sure I'm clear. Thank you.
Yes.
Related to that, you said something about opening up a road to the west section. I don't see that on this drawing.
Well, Sam tends to change his mind sometimes, and that was one of the things he said. If we're going to go for a increase in coverage, we'll show that on the next map.
Is the west section the one that had the wetlands on it?
No, the west section, I call the west section, is 17, 18, 19, and 20 sections.
Oh, okay. But there's
Yeah.
already a road there.
There's a road on the plan, but now he's talking about paving it, and that would increase our coverage.
This says, oh, you mean the pathways, the 5-foot wide pathways?
No, to the south of the section 17, he wants to put a road there, so services could be backed into that road to access the sections.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
he would like to put a road off of the south end of section 17, a little access drive.
Right. Yeah, I tried scaling this drawing. There's no scale on here. So I tried scaling it based on the width of the roads and trying to calculate approximately how much pavement you were adding. So it's a substantial amount when you put all those 4-foot pathways in there.
Yes.
Those pathways on 17, 18, 19, and 20.
Yes.
You're looking at 54,000 square feet of paving.
Actually, it's over that. Yeah, the pathways, yeah, there's a lot of paths out there. People
And
don't
they're
realize it, but
long.
it adds up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You're correct.
But the pathways are existing, correct?
They're
Yeah,
gravel.
but he would like to pave them because it's
Okay.
just it's
All right, so
it's too
check
muddy.
check your calculations, because sometimes when the paths may have already been included in the
They were
original, they're not, okay.
No.
There was an issue with coverage in the beginning, so they
Yeah.
took it out.
Okay, gotcha.
That's why I was asking, because this is actually quite funny. In the beginning, we were pushing Sam hard to put a bathroom in because we knew he was going to need a bathroom. We were fighting over and over again from meeting to meeting about
Yeah.
putting a bathroom in. Now, all of a sudden, we need a bathroom. And we were fighting because originally all those pathways were going to be wide and paved, and then they decided they couldn't afford the coverage. So now we're going back to where we started. He needs a
Yeah.
bathroom and he needs the pathways paved.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yes, you guys are longer in the business than I am.
yeah, well, we're
Well,
there to
but
advise you, and we knew you needed a bathroom at some point.
You're dead right. I was watching the other cemetery in 306. They have not division, it's the other side. They got no bathroom, they got no nothing. And you could push, but I see, being on the grounds, seeing what it's all about, you
Mhm.
just got to go forward and fix it.
Right. Well, that's why you keep coming back to ZBA and planning board. Those meeting
I have-
fees add up a hell of a lot more than a bathroom would have cost you.
I'm paying the price. Yes.
Uh-huh.
Hey, it keeps my grandchildren happy.
There you go.
Mhm. I
All
should
right.
have taken your
On the
advice
next-
a while back, but
On the
unfortunately,
next drawing, can we have some scale on there and possible
Sure.
calculations for the paving?
Yes, it'll be more detailed. I'll break them up into. I think I'll break it up into 2 different maps, but I'll talk to Sam, and I think that will help with his process on the temporary trailer, and then we'll go through what we have to do, projecting what's going to happen in the future for the coverage.
Yeah, for that temporary trailer, can you do it as one trailer and split the sides on it? Have one. I don't know if you're buying a pre-made toilet trailer
yeah,
and a
yeah.
pre-made office trailer.
yeah,
or
done.
Put a longer trailer in because you're allowed 30 feet. Put
The-
a
the-
bigger.
Then it goes into a different, you can get what you need. I want to have it comfortable, and the longer ones, you can't really get them in there. We looked at all options.
I'm
That
trying
was
to
the
avoid
best.
you a variance.
I know where you're coming from.
So otherwise, you're going to be months in meetings again, and you're not going to see this trailer till spring.
Okay,
I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
we'll figure it out.
Yes.
All right.
Thank
I
you
think
so
that's
much.
it. I mean, you've helped us tremendously, and I thank you for your time.
Thank you, everyone. Thank
Okay,
you, Lou.
thank
Thank you,
you.
John. Thank
Have
you,
a good
Chris.
day.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Susan. And
Okay,
thank you, Dave.
All
so,
right.
so I just want to be clear, they're coming back here, they're gonna submit directly to each board.
They got to come back here, I think.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear. Okay, come back to
Yeah.
CDRC. Okay,
We're going to change the application because we're
Right.
just going to split it up. Yes.
yes,
Okay.
okay,
All
all
right.
right. Then hopefully
Thank
we'll
you.
see you next month.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you,
Have
everybody.
a good day,
You
everybody.
too. Bye now.
Thank you.
Bye.
Take
Bye-bye.
care, everybody. Bye.
Bye. See you later.